Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bowl TV. Once again, my name is Matt Canizaro, live here at Samstown Bowling Center in Las Vegas. It is day 2 of qualifying at the USBC Senior Masters. Some great competitors from all across the country, 223 in total, age 50 and older, vying for a $20,000 top prize. And right now, they're just trying to find a spot in the top 64 where they'll join our defending champion Emilio Monticelli in the unique double elimination match play bracket. But that's still a couple days away. Again, this is day 2 of 3 of qualifying. We've got some scores to talk about. We've got some great players on the lanes right now here at Samstown. And it'll be 5 games of competition. And we'll be here for every minute of it. One more squad coming up later today. And then we'll have a recap for you on bowl.com. And then back at it one more time tomorrow, after which the 15-game pinfall totals will determine the 63 players joining Monticelli in the bracket. So 2 tournaments in one. Things kind of relaxed, a little bit slower pace these couple days, and then it gets super exciting with the best of 3 total pinfall matches the rest of the way. And now I'd like to bring in our co-host for the week. He's seen more Masters and Senior Masters matches than anybody else in the building, perhaps, except maybe some of our players who have been doing this for 30 or 40 years. But it's Jason Thomas, formerly known as the Bowling Guy.
Are you saying I'm old?
I'm saying you are experienced.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, we actually talked a lot about one of the gentlemen who was on our featured pair in front of us this game, Russ Hunt. And we're going to get to watch him bowl here in game number 1 right now. There he is up, leaving a 2-pin on his first shot. But Russ minus 73 starting the day, but so a little bit of work to do for him. But as Matt mentioned, we do have our score update for 10 games on the B squad, and David Leverage ended up leading after B. He's at plus 249 for his 2 days, so in great position heading into tomorrow to make it into that top 64 double elimination bracket. We'll run down some of the B squad players before we get into the A squad stories, or I'm sorry, the C squad stories, which that's the squad that's out on the lanes right now. Chris Warren is in second on the B squad. He's at plus 182. Tony Adcock, we made a little joke about that earlier because I, for some reason, called him Tony. Tom is at plus 168. Dino Castillo is at plus 165. Norm Duke at plus 158. Lenny Borish plus 155. Jason Couch plus 141. Tony Manna, after that little bit of a stumble, hiccup in the middle of the block with 142, he finished strong with 232 to get to plus 138. Bill Vinoy plus 137. Mike Countess, who we watched come across our live stream pairs, ended up at plus 118. Bob Rosenau, who we also watched and told a few little stories about. He's at plus 102 in 15th place, and going all the way down to the top 64 number right now, that is currently at minus 2. So minus 2 is the number heading into the C squad here. So C squad, interesting things to watch. We have Walt Blackstone on this squad. He was second place going into this second day of qualifying. He's at plus 197, so we'll have to watch Walt and see how he does here on day number 2. He was very outspoken about his chances walking in the door yesterday, and backed it up with a great day out on the lane, shooting 246, 248, 234, 192, and 277 his final game to almost catch Tom Hess, which is what he said his goal was at the start of the day. Some of the other bowlers on C squad, Chris Barnes, he's at plus 104. Michael Sternad is at plus 91. Dan Knowlton from Dade City, Florida at plus 79. Jim Montgomery from Arizona, he is at plus 78. Doug Kempt from California at plus 69. Charles Ritchie Jr. from North Carolina at plus 66. Joel Carlson at 65, William Graham. So a lot of good, a lot of players who are right in the thick of things here on the C squad. So we'll get a chance to watch them bowl 5 games today, and then we'll have one more squad coming up at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, the A squad, and then we'll have our full field done with 2 days of qualifying, 10 games, and we'll just have 5 more to go tomorrow to see who makes it into this bracket. If you're watching over on Facebook, we'll be here for the full game, and then the rest of our coverage this afternoon will take place over on BullTV.com. So if you don't have your subscription already, be sure to go over there and check it out. We have an event ticket this week for the USBC Senior Masters. That's $12.95. Probably the best deal would be the monthly subscription, $9.95 plus transaction fees. And that would be a recurring subscription. If you love it, you can keep it and get the PWBA Fall Classic, which is coming up at the end of October, the exciting conclusion to the season. Find out who wins Player of the Year, find out who wins Rookie of the Year. 4 events will happen there, including a regional event and the Tour Championship, which was just announced, a boosted prize fund, $50,000 top prize, and CBS Sports Network Finals. So you're definitely going to want to check that out, I think, if you're a bowling fan. And then one more option is your annual subscription, $79.95. Works out to about 8 cents per broadcast if you decide to do that for a year, and you get all of the events that Bowl TV has to cover, basically just wall-to-wall action. Based on my travel miles, I know we do a lot of events.
JT, if it helps with the motivation and pushing you along, the folks in the venue this week at Samstown, many have stopped by during our moments of no headsets, just to say hello and thanks, and that they enjoy the coverage of the PWBA and Collegiate and all the other events that they are not competing in. Some of them actually are disappointed that they're not able to watch right now, but they're actually competing. But some of them back in the room doing their thing, even when they have the opportunity to watch in person. They might be up there watching on Bowl TV or have Bowl TV open while they're in the venue.
Yeah, no, that's very true. We do appreciate the thanks, and also if you bring us food, we appreciate that as well. But yeah, I mean, we did a little piece on Shannon O'Keefe at the Queens, and one of the little followed her around for a day, and she walked down to get her coffee, and her roommate Carrie Smith was in the coffee shop. What was she doing? Watching Bowl TV. And so Shannon made the comment, that's what we do. If we're not bowling, we're watching Bowl TV to see what our competitors are doing. So yeah, one of the great ways for the players in the field to kind of get a leg up on what's happening out on the lanes is watch Bowl TV and see how the guys are hitting them. So early on here, Russ Hunt with the spare double. John Dudak on this pair as well. He's got strike 9, spare 8. And Tom, not Tony Sellers, working on a Dutch 200 pace right now.
JT, our good friend Parker Bone III, we've talked quite a bit about him and the family over these couple days. He's doing some ball rep duties, it looks like, walking around. He's got the handful of Aberlon pads and the manufacturer's representative name tag on. So the squads he's not bowling, he's doing some work, making sure the Brands of Brunswick are finding success here at Samstown.
Yeah, I saw him this morning, and I was like, hey, did I forget to promote that we had Parker Bone on the squad this morning, and then realized he's not wearing his bowling shirt. and he's got a bunch of Abralon pads in his hand. So yeah, he's just maybe guaranteeing that he's going to get himself a check this week. Although he's bowling well, not only this week, which if you look at the standings, Parker going into today in great shape at plus 141. Was one of our leaders after yesterday, but has been bowling really well with a couple of PBA 50 titles already under his belt this year.
Parker's one who's had great success in this building at this event in qualifying, even record-setting at times. But once you get to the bracket, anything can happen, and it seems to happen against Parker Bowen. When he runs away from the field to get there, he just hasn't been able to get it all done and all put together in this event. And I know that's got to be frustrating to have such a great look, but then at the same time, to know that the folks are going to step up against you, that's got to be a pretty neat feeling too. I mean, obviously not when you're watching the later rounds of the event, but the bowlers know that they're going to have to bring their best, and they tend to do that against him.
Yeah, it's a hard tournament to win. You do have to have some good breaks, in terms of players not bowling a big game against you or a big set against you at the wrong time. Parker, of course, has one of the most memorable moments in Masters history, bowling a 300 game on the telecast, but then he ran into Mike Albee. So,
well, he got his eventually.
Yeah, true. But I'm sure would not be disappointed to be one of those folks to add their name to the short list of players who have won both the Masters and the Senior Masters.
In 2016, JT, we have data to back it up. Parker set the 15-game record with 37-12.
Yeah, that's a lot. 712 over.
Yeah, well, it wasn't enough for the next year because he was 37-17.
Wow, that's some bowling.
Unfortunately, let's now check the past results and see how those events turned out for him.
That's a 247 average for those 2 years in qualifying.
Well, in 2016, ended up 4-2 in match play, got to a tie for 13th place. Not too bad. And then a tie for 25th place the next year. So 2-2 in match play. So you just never know. And really, you can run into anybody at any time. And what happened in the days prior doesn't mean a whole lot. But speaking of a whole lot, lane 20, Tom Sellers. There's a whole lot of pins still on the deck. Yeah.
That's the Rhino Page.
That is
right
something
there.
else. I did get to see that one in person, JT.
Oh, man, what a moment that was. I mean, what a shocker. I once saw a gentleman leave this with the 4-pin got a 3 count by hitting the 3-pin head on.
Some creativity out there for sure. 4-4 for Sellers.
4-4 and 7 years ago.
See what you did? Got the historical reference. I believe that also was when you were at the Masters for the first time, right? Fourth score,
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
87 years.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite that far back for you, but
No.
the Masters actually debuted in 1951, and it was so much fun that in 1993 the Senior Masters came about. So there's your history lesson of the day. This event dates back to 1993. And we have a handful of 2-time winners, which nobody has won this event on 3 occasions.
It's just such a hard tournament to win. You have to win so many matches, and so many things have to go your way.
Well, Tom Baker got awfully close to a three-peat. He won in 06 and 07, and he ran into Aaron Smith's favorite bowler of all time, Kenny Parks, in the title match.
Yeah. I actually ran into Kenny at Bowl Expo this year. So asked him if he had planned to bowl anymore, and he said, he's dealing with some injuries, and it's just tough when you're dealing with injuries and you can't practice as much as you want to practice, and so that's why we haven't seen Kenny out here for a while.
Well, there was a time period right around there, of course, obviously, that Tom Baker was one of the most dominant players on the entire planet, stemming from maybe the confidence of that World Championship win, and then Kenny Parks went and ruined it. And then this week, Tom's birthday, a roller coaster of emotions, right? They brought him in his cake, wished him a happy birthday, and then Damon, as a unfortunate birthday present, let him know he missed the cut to the top 12 by 1 pin.
Yeah. No, that was bittersweet, obviously, for Tom, but he did what he had to do to give himself a chance through the last 8 to possibly get himself in the match play finals, and just came up a little short. But at least he got some cake.
Yeah. Cake makes things better. And now for John Dudak, bittersweet, left the tribute to Aaron Smith, the 4-5 on lane 19.
Yeah, we mentioned some of the odd pin action here this week, and it's really the kickbacks are very bouncy. And John, basically that was a bucket hit, and the head pin shot off the wall and took the 2-pin out. So it wasn't a typical Aaron Smith 4-5.
But now, speaking of that, are you surprised in all the conversations that we have not seen Nick Hoagland appear at any point in the chat? I know you had mentioned if he shows up, it'd be nice to ask him some of those questions, see what he knows, and maybe get some of his thoughts on this week's pattern and some of the decisions and things, or the experience that he had that led to.
Yeah, we've actually solicited him a number of times to see if he's listening in the chat, but I'm kind of tired of it, so I think I'm just gonna hit him up with a text. because I have the technology. I'm really curious to know why the kickbacks are so lively here. Russ Hunt leaving a 4-pin. He's got a good game going. Just keeping the ball around the pocket. One double. No open frames. Possible 226. Dudak bounces back from his Aaron Smith in the 7th with a strike in the 8th. Michael Lucent with a possible 225 on lane 22 and stepping up in the 9th here. Keep that alive. And that was nice. Nicely done. Mark Large with a chance for 236. Russ Hunt sends 10 straight back. Mentioned earlier today, Russ at one point held the all-time record for average in a certified season. Back in 1996, averaged 251 for a full league season. Still holds the record for with that 251 in doubles leagues. So Russ can strike with the best of them when he gets a look. It's another one of those examples of the lively kickbacks. Russ trip 4 hit, and the 2-pin shoots in front of the 4, barely nicks it. The 4-pin falls straight back and leaves a 7-9. So very unusual pin action. And as soon as Nick Haugen gets back to me, I'll let you know why the kickbacks are so lively here at Sam's Town. And it's kind of similar hit there for Michael Lucent. And Russ bounces it out, almost makes it. But unfortunate finish there, going to end up with 194. And not going to be happy because he had a chance there to get to 226 with a couple strikes. Josh Novak in the chat saying, hey, why don't you ask Brad Angela? He may know the answer to that question about the kickbacks here at Sam's Town. He said, Brad is somebody who's always seemed to have done well in this tournament. So look out for him this week. I agree. So just one more shot here in game number one, and we're going to sign off the Facebook Live and the Bull TV YouTube channel. Shane Horseman with a good finish there, shoots 183. That gets him to -17. And we are going to go ahead and sign off. If you want to join us for the rest of our coverage, be sure to visit bulltv.com. We've got a giveaway coming up later in the block. And lots of great action here as we watch the C Squad bowl their second day of qualifying here.